listings be deleted from your listings once you are sold out? Ooh.
Okay,
Andy,
so
I wonder if your answer is going to be different than mine.
so I think they're talking about like close your listing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we never ever close our listings, and the reason for that is I don't, and I don't necessarily suggest that everybody does this, but we've been doing this for a long time. We've got our processes and we have manufacturers we trust. We have a lot of infrastructure and relationships in place. So this might not necessarily be perfect for anyone. For us, we never turn it off because what we do is we do back ordering. So if we ever run out of stock, we set our order or our ship date back. It depends on what, the time of year. Like if it's coming up on Chinese New Year and we run out, which we actually did on a couple of our we sold way more than we thought over Christmas and we actually stocked out. But what we did is we just keep the listing going and we push the ship date out a couple weeks. Now there's, debate on that. But the way that we like to see it is that even if it's not selling through as quickly, we're keeping rank, and because of the way we drive traffic and things like that, we normally don't lose too much rank. And as soon as we get back in stock, our rank just like skyrockets back. So, so for if you're experienced, if you got your stuff dialed in, I would say do back ordering. If you're newer and you don't have, a supply chain or a manufacturer that you really trust, then I would say you might want to close your listing.
So, and this is my rule of thumb. A lot of people are told to close their listing because they're worried about hijackers if they're sold out, right? And then the other thing is they're worried about their rank. So those are usually the two biggest concerns I hear about closing listings. So my rule of thumb is, look, if you've got stock on the way to Amazon, do not close your listing, because then that stock can go stranded. It can get all jacked up. They might not be able to check it in. If you've already created the shipment in Amazon and like Andy said, he set his to back ordered, but if that stuff is inbound, do not close your listing. If you're out of stock and let's say maybe you have a 3-month turnover and you're not going to be in stock for a while, right? And you're worried about there possibly being hijackers or whatever, depending on what category you're in. And everybody has different stuff. If you're brand registered, obviously you have a lot less to worry about. But if you're not going to be in stock for like 3 or 4 months and you're just worried about your listing sitting out there, then go ahead and close it. And you can just click the relist button as soon as you're ready to create that shipment and send your inventory back in.
Yeah. I just noticed too, though, sorry, I didn't read the entire question, that he put the retail arbitrage, online arbitrage at the bottom of that. Honestly, I like, people always ask me, arbitrage stuff. I've done it a little bit in the past, but it's not my wheelhouse to me. And I don't want to rip on anybody who's doing that. I know people are making money in that. I know there's money to be made there. I would never do that, because for me, I want to put all my time and effort into building my own brand. It's like, for me, I'm always like, why do I want to sell Nike and build their brand? Everybody already knows Nike. I want to build my brand so that, 5 or 10 years from now, I'm the next Nike, or I'm the next Under Armour, or, whatever. So to me, I don't concentrate a lot in that. If it's working for you, more power to you, but that's not my wheelhouse.
So the thing along with the RA and OA side of things, I always recommend, like one of my clients right now, I've given her homework to start with RA because she's doing private label, but she's never done anything on Amazon before. So I was like, go out to Walmart and find something. I don't even care if it's profitable, but learn the numbers and learn how to ship your stuff in. So
I was going to say, yeah, great for FBA, like just to learn the process for sure. Just a single item. Like people are like, wait, I can send one item to FBA. Like a lot of people don't know that. That's a great point. For learning just the basic stuff, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, because then you don't have a lot of skin in the game, right? And who cares if you don't, I told her, if you don't make any money on this one item you sent in, who cares? You learned how to ship something in. You learned how to look at the fees for an item. You learn how to list an item. You learn how to list multiple items. So I think it's a wonderful start. And then, of course, as you were saying, Andy, a lot of people make a lot of money with RA and OA. And for the question that Clay asked, I recommend Jess Hill is one of my favorite RA sellers out there, and she talks in her group. She talks about how if you, it can count against your, I think it's like your inventory score or something, if you leave a bunch of listings in there that you have no plan to replenish. So make sure if you have a bunch of RA listings in there that you're not planning on replenishing, that you get rid of them, because that can actually look bad on your overall like inventory and stuff, because Amazon sees it as, oh, you're not sending that stuff back in, so what's going on, right?
Well, and in that case, deleting your listing is not a big deal when you're doing RA or OA, because usually you're just tacking your listing onto a listing that's already, your offer is just being tacked onto a listing that's already there. So technically, when you delete your offer off of your account, you're really not doing much of anything unless you created that listing, which some people who are doing RA and OA who are really successful do create their own listings because they're doing bundlings and things like that. Now, from what, even though I don't know a lot about that subject, I of course follow it because it's, part of the Amazon world. So what I've been kind of hearing and seeing, and it makes sense to me, is that what I've heard is a lot of big brands are starting to crack down on that. So like they don't want, like, even if you're like doing a bundle or something like that, like they see it as you diluting their brand, or possibly like maybe not giving the same customer service that they would and things like that. So I would not be surprised if that market gets tighter and harder to sell in, at least in the next like year or two.